Hello there, and thank you for joining me as I set up the next week on my B6 Common Planner. Now, lately I had been trying to stick to the same colors that I'm using on my monthly notes pages, but I feel I'm not going to have enough colors or stickers for my notes pages in November. So I'm currently using all of my orange and just anything that kind of like gives those Thanksgiving feels. And I think it would also be nice to kind of have something different for my weeklies. So I think that moving forward, I'm just going to be sporadic in my weeks and then just keep my notes pages congruent like that, like making all of them at least in the same color scheme, and have a little more fun here. So with that said, for next week, I like to keep a little sticky note on the week that's following, so like that I can make notes of little changes I either want to make to the layout or things I need to remember for me to change on schedule. So that's what you see here. And as you can see, that sticky note just keeps on being pushed over, so I can have that blank start on my new week. So here the only thing that I have was that I started with some November date stickers. These are from Planner Kate and they're meant for your monthly calendar, but I've utilized them here and they've actually been a pretty good fit. The only part where they kind of stick out, it's once you start into the 20s that I noticed that it's kind of hard to cover them there. With my weekly spreads, as you can see, they're for the most part quite functional, but I have enjoyed seeing just a little bit of difference from week to week. So I can stay a little more motivated on my bulk of my daily tasks. So for this week, I'm going to actually feeling a little more artsy. And instead of using my mild liners to do a border, I think I want to use a bit of my colors. I don't know how my pen is going to react to this, but I think it'd be nice to switch it up. So these are the stickers that I'm planning to use. I just want to see if this color... Okay, I think this one's better. I'm just going to use this to create a little border on the sides. Okay, so there we go. It's not, I didn't intend for it to be straight. If you can notice, it kind of like has a little bit of a curve to it here and there. I did mess up over here on the 11th. The sticker wasn't really allowing me to color. So note to self for the future, these sticker dates, place them until I have decorated the weekly. So like that, I could have placed them on top of the color instead of smudging them. So just something to remember for myself. Now, I was kind of debating on what girl to use for this week. I knew for sure I wanted to implement one of these into it. I just love the silhouettes. They really make a change to the whole layout and decoration of it. So I am thinking about having this in the background and her in the front. So either this one or this one. I think for sure the second one. Now I do know a lot of you prefer just like functional planning. So in case you are interested in that, I will go ahead and try to set up a timestamp to separate my decorational planning to, or deco setup really, because this isn't too much planning from my functional spread. So let me know if that helps y'all, like that you can see exactly what you came for. As I was laying her down, I thought, you know what? A bit of like a blue background on this would also be really nice. hope I got the right color of blue. Just to add an additional layer. You know, not all of your layers have to be stickers. For example, over here, I've been using an additional layer as with the mild liner for my days. So I'll do the mild liner and then I'll put the sticker on top, and it looks like it's multiple things. So I've been enjoying that too. I'm thinking I'm gonna save this one to use during the week. So typically I have little like empty sections, as you can see here, nothing was written here or here or here. And maybe I could cut this out in those empty sections that naturally form up throughout the day and like fill them in with those little flowers. On the top here, I'm gonna go ahead and draw in the weather after, like off camera, just because I still need to check it. And typically I like to wait until it's closer to the end of the week, so like that this could be a little more accurate. But down here, something that has really been helping me since I got the Common Planner is just drawing in my sleep hours. And this last week I also put in my energy levels, so I loved how that came out. It looks very tech. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same for this week. And a little note that I had left for myself on the sticky was for me to start Monday here. Like that, there would be one line of empty space between my to-do list for Monday and my regular bar of tasks. And on this sleep tracker, I only keep the hours that I slept. I don't necessarily put the energy level, because for me it makes sense that if the dot is lower, I had less energy, and if it's higher, I had more energy. This is something I had tried out on my day designer that I just loved it. And then I think I also tried it out on one of my October weeklies when I used to do them back here. And I love how it just looks like a little folded edge. So I was trying to do that again. This one looks more like an envelope though. I can't quite get the picture, the sticker in the center, but that's all right. So that's what that little thing is. And again, using markers to kind of draw a second layer. Now this looks like its own little box, and I really like that. You may be asking, like, if I honestly, when it comes to these little spots, I don't know what I'm going to write in them. I just set them up, and then as the week goes by, as I decorate for that day, as I write in my tasks for that day, or at the end of the day, if something particular happened that I want to highlight, I'll put it there. But I don't really have a plan for them. I'll just figure it out as I go. This is a little hydration sticker that I got as a freebie from Planner Kate. And I always like to use these as a weekly tracker. I just go ahead and cut the water section, since I don't really track my water. At least not like this. And I also take off one of the little squares, so I can have exactly 7. Okay, so I've been, even though I have a monthly tracker for my reading, I think I showed it to you all right now. Where is it? So this is my monthly tracker for my reading. As you can see, what is it? Friday already, and all these days I haven't read. I've only read 2 pages so far this month. I've been doing really bad. And this is something that I really enjoy doing, but I just can't seem to put it in my schedule. Okay, I'm loving how this overlap looks. I want to leave just a little space to write in the videos that I would like to post. And then it'll probably just be 2 videos, max 3, so maybe here. And I'm kind of debating if I want it centered or off the paper, since I do want to have a day off sticker over here. I think it would be nice to have like my top 3 for the week in this section. So let me leave enough space for that. And then even though I am working today, this Monday, my morning meeting is going to be canceled. So that gives me a little more flexibility, and that's why I wanted to use that sticker there. So at least my morning hours may be off of meetings for work. Ah! No. So now my book, and really low so I can have here as like a running to-do list for the week. That looks nice. I'm sorry for the clap. Got excited there. You know, something I have really been considering for next year is buying a planner cover, because I'm starting to carry my stickers, and here I have my box stickers, and over here I have like my, what I like to refer to as my silhouette stickers, because they have different shapes. And they haven't fallen, but then again, I haven't moved my planner too much. And now I also want to add another section for me to store my weekly colored stickers in here as well. And I'm like, where do I, slide them into so I can have them available during the week? So that's something I am planning for next year. And I think I'm going to stop there with the decorations to make sure I still have enough room for my actual functional planning. So I'm loving it. I am really liking it. That blue is very soft that you can barely even notice it, but it's a nice touch. It really adds a little bit of depth to the page. So, I just want to mention this. So for example, I bought this set of Planner Kate icons, and I typically like to use the ones that I don't see myself utilizing the most. So for example, here when we were going to have our elections day, and I wanted to have a sticker there to note that, I didn't want to use a sticker that I know I could easily place anywhere else. So for example, I felt like the coffee, the notebook, like the don't forget, or my little tablet and things, like I feel those could really be utilized elsewhere, because they're such common things, the garden pot. But for example, we don't have game nights. So I was like, I don't think I'll be using that sticker. And I put it there because I was like, well, the cards are out there, and we're gonna see who wins. I kind of saw it like a thing of luck, like let's see who wins. So that's why I put the cards there. And down here, Costco teeth, I picked up nothing that had to do with dental. I was just like, it's a pretty penny and it costs a lot, and guess what costs a lot too? Dentist visits. That's why I put that there. Again, I'm just trying to use the stickers that I don't think I will use up for the rest of the week. So I'm trying to go with the ones that I least see myself using. The church one, I don't go to church, period. So what did I use that for? Let me remember. I used it over here for work stuff, just randomly. Just stuck it in there because there was like a little open gap. So yeah, I'm actually trying to use my least usable stickers for me first. So that's why you may see like some random ones there, where I'm just trying to make them fit somehow into the story. So like for the icons, I'm not going to use those here because obviously it's a different color, but I just thought I'd share because I found it funny trying to figure out what stickers I wouldn't use to place in those sections. But okay, functional planning. So I've really enjoyed putting my top priority or focus of the day right underneath the date. That has really helped. That's why I left this little blank section over here, so I could still have that. So let me go ahead and start with that. I just note that with a little box. So that's that section. And I'm gonna be referencing these empty days a little more to see what I've been tracking because it's a lot cleaner than these. So we have that. So WS, that's water and sunshine, and then the little sun is for me to mark the time that I woke up. Since sometimes I forget to fill out this section, it's helpful to already have this information because as soon as I come in and fill my days, I can write it down. So water, sunshine, and then the bottom it's just, it's mostly work or other things that I need to remember immediately. So I'm gonna keep this section the same, and then I'm gonna edit this bottom part a little. So let's do that top section. And I'm so happy to say that I found my cool gray mild liner. I love this one for my dot circles. I used to be using this gray one, which is just a little darker. But I definitely prefer this one because like the light changing color for me makes all the difference. And I found this one at a shop, at a stationery shop in Austin. I'll go ahead and put their information in the description box. That time that I was there, it was also the first time I ever held a hobonichi in my hands. I was so excited because I have been considering maybe going up a size on my planners since I fill my dailies, which I use, I know this is a weekly, but this is the one that I use on a daily basis to write out my daily to-do list. And I feel it's been a little tight. Now on the weeks that I'm not really into my planner, because we all have lulls, you know, when we don't really feel like planning, we just want to get our stuff done and we don't feel like decorating or anything like that. So for days like that, it's fine. But now that I'm going back into being more consistent with it again, I think I would like more space because I remember even at the beginning of the year when I was being consistent with it, I still found this section to be a little tight. Now my biggest thing though, well not the biggest thing, but I know it's still gonna, it's kind of like been on my head, is that for the common planner, the B6 size has your timeline hours like perfectly in the middle where you have 3 extra lines on the top and 3 extra lines on the bottom. And that symmetry, oh, it's just so pleasing to me. And I was looking at the A5 for the common planner and it's not like that. The A5, like the times don't keep on going and it's not in the middle. You have like an empty section at the bottom. And I don't prefer that. Now, funny thing is, I don't even use the time slots. I don't work by a time schedule like that. It's just not where I am right now. So I don't even look at them or I don't use them. But visually, I can see that they block out the paper. You know, like everything's consistent. So it's going to be interesting to see, like having that gap on the bottom. I wonder if I'm going to do my setups differently, like if I would use my dailies differently because of how that looks. Who knows? But it is something that was like bugging me when I noticed that about the A5 Common Planner. I do like to note the separation between work and the rest of my day because obviously one is sitting at my desk and the other one is running around the house. I do recall I wanted to change my work abbreviations a bit. These are just kind of like the tasks that I want to have on top of mind every single day. But I wanted to change that, and I know I wrote that down here. So this is what I want to change it to. And specifically, I wanted to say ASO and not the LT. So I'm going to change it to ASO instead of MRS, which I thought was funny. Like I accidentally did Mrs. and then my little productivity circles to note how much I actually got done. I don't know, those have just been so helpful, so I definitely want to keep those. It's fun, like being able to shade in. It's kind of like for any task or project that you have a progress bar. For someone like me who is a very visual person, it really does help me see that. I think that's why I also like to write down my tasks, because I like to physically go in and check things off. I wonder if any of you will get anxious with me telling you this, but I actually have not purchased my 2025 planners. I am glad I haven't, because now that, like, thinking about it, the one that I would have initially chosen, I would have changed my mind about it already. So I'm glad I actually took my time and waited a little longer and did like a whole write down of what I needed, what I wanted, because those two are different things. One is like the type of things that you want to keep in the planner, what you want to keep track of, and the other one is the planner you want. And then seeing if you can actually merge the two together or if you're going to need additional books. So that was a whole discovery for me that I really enjoyed. And now I'm going to let you all know that I'm really looking into getting the A5 common planner, as I've been mentioning right now. But my big issue here is that I specifically want the mulberry color, which of course is completely sold out. So I'm honestly not accustomed to the planner launches, even though I have been planning for a while. Like I haven't been into planners that have like such a I guess like a high crazy demand. And I've never had an issue of them being sold out. So it was unexpected for me for this one. And even the planner launches, like I had no idea that planner launches happen like early September. I felt like those, I mean, now that I think about it, it kind of makes sense, but still. I've thrown away planners at the end of the year, just to let you all know, because I'm done with them. I don't like to hold on to things. However, I think this is the first year that I don't feel comfortable throwing either of these away. So this is a half year, and my first year I'm also keeping it. When it comes to for any of you who have used a happy planner before, I'm curious. With my happy planner, I used to add like different pages to it within my weeks. I used to add dailies as well. So at the end of the year, especially since I bought academic years, I would typically have one like different planners every 6 months because of the academic stuff. So I would switch out covers, switch out the pages, change out my notes pages. And at the end of the year, like it all looks so different. And then I would have some mixed up with the notes. So I'd essentially just rip them. I'd rip up the pages and throw them in the trash. Because I don't know, it just didn't seem relevant. I really, honestly too though, I didn't used to journal much in those. Actually, I didn't used to journal whatsoever. So it was mostly a list of tasks. And every now and then would be like, oh, this day was such and such's birthday. Or this day, this month we actually traveled here. So that was kind of like the most that I would like to remember. But I didn't really write what the experience was like or what it felt like. I just wrote that it was scheduled. So it wasn't anything that I would find useful to keep for the future. And so I didn't. But now with this one, the experience of just being on a book bound, it feels a lot more like if it's meant to be together, and I don't know, it just feels more special than having lonesome printouts. For this last today, I didn't expect it, but I know that on Saturday I'm going to be traveling, so I'm not going to have to do my kitchen and living room tidy at the end of the night, which turned out perfect because I don't even have space for it. But obviously we are going to have dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little D for dinner. Before, I used to write beforehand what we would eat every day of the week, and that's why I had my little check so I can mark that yes, we did do that, or no, I actually cooked something differently. But lately I haven't been using it like that, so I'm just gonna put dinner just to write down what I eat that day, since I don't really forward plan my meals now. Okay, but yeah, I've really felt that difference in connection with my new book bound. It just feels like it's supposed to be treasured a little more because it is a book. Maybe it's because I'm a reader, and books, like, I just don't feel you throw those away. Rather as like loose pages, I feel like, yeah, I throw loose pages away every day. But that's kind of like my mentality around it. Anyways, but yes, I want the A5 Mulberry Common Planner. So if you guys see it become available on the restock, attack my comments so I can go get it. I think I'm willing to hold off until the 20th for the restock. And if it doesn't happen, well then I'll just buy a different color cover. But yes, this is so far how my setup is looking like. I'm kind of debating on putting these in these order. I'm gonna have a little brainstorming session to see exactly how I want to set them up, since now that I've been going to the gym, we kind of have breakfast first and then the workout. So I'm gonna do a little tweaks there. But this is so far my setup. What my week looks like when I've done decorations, and I've set up my daily habits. So I hope you've all enjoyed this, and I can't wait to see you here next week, where I show you the completed page. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one.